Hello, Diella.
Hi, Christiana.
May I please ask you some questions based on my media work, please?
Yeah, you can.
When was the last time you watched a horror trailer or movie?
I think it was a couple of months ago.
Oh, what was it called?
Conjuring.
Oh, I really like that film. I watched it last week with my mum. So, how was the opening scene like for you? Was it scary? Was it normal?
I would say it took me by surprise because at first I thought it was a normal movie, but all of a sudden these weird things started happening. So,
Oh, what kind of weird things?
like,
Was it a scary house?
no, obviously, it was a normal house and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, you had the normal family, a pet, and then the dog died.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember
So
that
obviously,
scene,
it gets you thinking, hold on, how did the dog die? So,
yeah. So, based on what you've seen, what would you expect in a horror trailer then? Would you expect it to be scary as soon as you see the first shot, or just calm, smooth?
I wouldn't expect it to be scary straight away,
Okay, yeah.
because that's just like, you have to give a storyline,
Yeah.
make it seem normal, and
Yeah.
then add the thriller into it, because
Yeah.
that's what actually gets people scared. Because I thought it was a normal movie, everything was going well, and then all of a sudden the dog died, so it was just a bit,
Yeah.
how did that happen?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for my media A2 work, we basically have to film our own horror trailer,
Okay.
and I was thinking of kind of doing a child abduction kind of storyline. So what would you think about that? If you have any ideas, can you share it with me?
Child abduction.
Yeah, like a person escaped from jail and then
Mm.
he sees this family and he takes a child on a certain day of the year, and then it carries on from there. I have different ideas in my mind, but I was just asking if that's a good idea.
What I would say is, like, you have to show how the child is on a normal basis, and like, maybe if there's a particular place that the child always goes to, obviously, like in movies there's always this place that something's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely.
So if it's like a park and the child goes to the park by themselves, then everyone will get into their mind, something's gonna happen. And obviously you show like different images of what do you call it, the abductor. So obviously everyone will have a picture in their head, wait, hold on, maybe when the child goes to the park by themselves and this person has escaped, something's gonna happen. Do you understand?
Sure.
So make it seem like a normal family life, like just normal storylines, happy family, prisoners escaped, all those normal things, and then one day just attack.
Okay, going back to the horror trailer you've watched, the Conjuring, what are the typical codes of conventions you saw in that movie? For example, in some horror trailers, I've noticed the typical codes of convention is like a scary house, a child getting abducted, someone screaming saying,
Help
somebody
me,
help me.
yeah.
So what typical codes of conventions did you see in the Conjuring that can add to my horror trailer, hopefully?
There are times when they play scary music, but also there are times when it's just silent. And for The Conjuring, I think it was silent, and you were just thinking, wait, what's gonna happen next? So I think with yours, doing scary music, that's just too basic. Everyone always does that. So
definitely.
you can make it like a silent scene, like everyone's thinking what's gonna happen. Also, don't scream help me, because that's just too common.
It's too vague.
So I would say one of your lines should be something like, what are you doing here? It's normal, but it's also adding to like the suspense of what is this person doing. Do you understand? So also I think don't base it on a scary house, because in The Conjuring it looks like a normal house. You wouldn't expect anything to happen. So I think you should make it seem like just normal family lives, and then you can just start adding the thriller later on.
I totally agree with that. You actually gave me a really great idea. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Victoria.
Hi, Christiana.
May I please ask you some questions based on my media work?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, so when was the last time you watched a horror trailer or movie?
That was about 3 to 4 months ago.
Oh, what was it called?
Paranormal Activity.
Oh, I watched that. That's really scary. So based on the Paranormal Activity, what was the opening scene like for you?
Well, in the beginning, it was just like a normal setting, like a house and a family just living there. everything is fine. Yeah, that's just how it opened. Everything was just fine. It was just introducing the characters.
Okay, when I watched Paranormal Activity, at first I found it boring because I was wondering why is there a family recording themselves. Did you feel the same way?
It was very boring. And
yeah.
Like the recordings were really vague. Like they didn't really show like every day to day. It was just really vague. So it was really boring.
Okay, so now you've had the experience of watching horror trailers. Now moving on to my media work, we were asked to create our own horror trailer. Yeah, our own horror trailer. So can you please tell me what you would expect in a horror trailer?
Well, in a horror trailer, like it really depends on the movie, I think. But I think they should really show. I think they shouldn't really give hints about the movie, but they should give it a bit of suspense, but not give out too much, but also to give out some, like, for you to be interested in the movie, because the trailer can make you interested or not interested about the movie.
Okay, for my horror trailer, I have loads of ideas, and one of the ideas I was thinking of having a kind of theme of children getting abducted and a person ran away from prison and he's out on the loose and the police are chasing him everywhere. Or I kind of had an idea that it was a woman. It opens with a woman speaking in the background, but we don't show anything. And so it's basically talking about how she lost her child on one day and she's searching and she's going to find out who actually took her child. So she goes on a little kind of mission investigation, trying to find out who this person is that keeps on taking children. So which one do you think is really...
I would prefer the second idea because it doesn't give out too much and it makes it a bit of suspense, but it also keeps you entertained. I think that the second idea would be very good.
Okay, going back to Paranormal Activity that you said you watched, what are the typical codes and conventions that you saw or noticed? Like a scary house, someone saying somebody help me, typical conventions that you expect to see in a horror trailer.
Yeah, well it was towards the end because in the beginning, like I said, it was all calm, but towards the end, like the middle bit, you start hearing like the little boy saying somebody's out to get me, like little strange things like that. But it wasn't too like expected. Yeah, that's the one thing about Paranormal Activity, like it wasn't expected at all. There wasn't a lot of conventional
codes and conventions.
There wasn't a lot of them.
Okay, that's very good because I'm trying to make my horror trailer a little bit like that. That we'll go to a scene and people won't expect it, then it will still shock them and they'll get scared, hopefully. But thank you for your time, very much.
Hi,
Frangia.
Hi, Christiana.
Can I ask you some questions based on my media work, please?
Sure.
So, when was the last time you watched a horror movie or trailer?
About 2 or 3 years ago.
And what was it called?
Paranormal Activity.
Oh, which one?
2.
Oh, that was kind of interesting. So, based on Paranormal Activity, how's the opening scene like for you?
Kind of boring. Like they're just in a house filming what they do on a day-to-day basis. Like it wasn't really interesting at all until the end.
Till the end, yeah, definitely. So, for my horror trailer that we're asked to do, I was thinking of an idea, kind of a child abduction kind of theme, or like a psycho that just came out of prison and he's out to get someone on a specific day, which is a child. So, what do you think about that idea?
It's a good idea. Like you've got some good ideas as to what you could do if you're still.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So, going back to Paranormal Activity, what are the typical kinds of conventions that you noticed?
That they just film what happens, and then I think during the end that's when it starts to get a bit scarier. So like they wait for the audience to like get surprised at the end because they think nothing will happen in the beginning, but during the end that's when the spooky stuff happens.
Oh, okay, that's great. Thank you for your help very much. Thank you so much.